Today's topic is the impact of culture on emergency management, planning, and response. To begin with, let's understand the meaning of culture. Culture has several definitions, but the most used is the one provided by the United Nations Educational, Scientific, and Cultural Organization. Culture is the complex whole which includes knowledge, beliefs, arts, morals, laws, customs, and any other capabilities and habits acquired by a human as a member of society. According to the United States Census Bureau, by the middle of this century, the population of the United States will be larger and ethnically diverse. In FEMA states by 2050, approximately half of the United States population will be made up by minorities. Having the previous data and better understanding of the meaning of culture, it is possible to conclude that it's extremely important to include culture as part of emergency management planning, because culture can become a tool of survival during a disaster, but if it's ignored or underestimated, it can also become an obstacle on disaster risk reduction. And cultural diversity. People who are cultural or geographically isolated may have greater risks and be disproportionately vulnerable to disaster. For example, people living in rural areas and indigenous groups. Sometimes people don't get all the appropriate information about the emergency management plan due to its location, and it can create a lack of communication that it could jeopardize all four stages of emergency plan at the time of emergency. In addition, communities may not take neat actions unless disaster preparedness, response, recovery, or mitigation information is communicated using messages and languages that are culturally appropriate and easily to understood. Sometimes communities don't want to leave behind their livelihood, ancestors, and belongings due that it has an important value to their beliefs and cultural life. For example, the eruption of the volcano in Merapi, Indonesia in 2006, the community was at such a high risk that the government emitted an evacuation order, but the community group ignored the warnings and decided to stay. The community leader was the only person that they listened to about evacuating. If the community leader doesn't get involved in planning, it might be complicated to provide information to these communities. Also, some groups of individuals may be reluctant to seek federal assistance due to the cultural differences that value self-sufficiency and pride in autonomy. Cultural and resilience communities. Emergency managers will need to work hand to hand with communities in order to plan, create awareness, build strong resilience communities, and have an effective emergency management plan. The impact of culture in emergency management plan and response. Culture should be always taken into account in every stage of an emergency plan. Mitigation, preparedness, response, and recovery. Understanding and obtaining cultural information, it could help to reduce the loss of networks, livelihoods, keep communities informed, together, prepared, involved, and aware that it could help to create strong resilience communities.